And one of the greatest things, I met Dr. Jeremy years ago because of my mom. She was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2009, I believe. And she found out that she had it, and the first doctor she met with said she wanted to do a mastectomy. She wanted to remove all of the lymph nodes. Thank you. So they wanted to do a mastectomy, remove all the lymph nodes on the one side of her body, and give her massive chemo and radiation therapy. And that was based off of just the one test showing the tumor and that it was cancerous. They wanted to do all those things immediately, and wanted to schedule that within 48 hours. And my mom, she had prior experience with cancer. Her mother was diagnosed with uterine cancer many, many years ago. And she watched her mom whittle away due to the massive amounts of radiation and chemo that they put her through back when my mom was a teenager. She lost her mom when she was 18. And she watched her mom whittle away due to the treatments, not due to the cancer. And the doctors told her after she passed, the cancer never killed your mom. It didn't have a chance to because the poison that we put through her veins ended up taking her. I'm not saying that chemo is a terrible thing. I've seen it work plenty of times on other family members, and it's a fantastic thing. I'm glad we have it. But it's not always the answer. And so my mom decided that whether it be a life-saving thing or a death sentence for her, she was not going to go through the chemo and the radiation right away. She was going to research some holistic ways of doing things. And she found some great things. She went and did some treatments in another state where they put IV liquid version of basically sodium bicarbonate, I believe is what it is, but it's baking soda. And they just put that in her veins, and it actually killed the tumor. It was no longer living cancerous except for the very, very center of it, the core of it, which we found out later when she decided to have the mastectomy. So those treatments, among other holistic ways of living and eating and doing things, I guess the way that nature intended instead of just pumping chemicals through her body, allowed her to have a mastectomy, only have 2 or 3 lymph nodes removed on that side, and was completely cancer-free. And Dr. Jeremy, through all of that, helped to guide her and take away some of the pains and these things, lots of different things. He didn't work with her a lot at that time. My mom didn't need a lot of extra work at that time. She did most everything on her own. And then years later, 3 years later, she found out, 3.5 years later maybe, found out that she had stage 4 breast cancer. It had now metastasized to all of her female organs and her abdomen, and was actually blocking off her liver. There was so much pressure against her liver that she was jaundiced, and that's why she went to the hospital. And then they found out that she was just completely riddled with breast cancer, which came from the large diameter or large bore. Maybe you can help me out again. When they go in to test a tumor, the term when they go in with the needle to take out a piece of it, I can't even remember what that's called right now. But whatever it is, they did that, and that released a bunch of cells throughout her body, and those things migrated down to another female organ because it was a hormone-driven version of breast cancer. And so she was at the point of a lot of pain. It had eventually migrated to her back, to her spine, some of her muscles and bones, and I mean everything was just riddled everywhere. Stage 4 isn't a great diagnosis. So Dr. Jeremy then came in and worked with her and did everything he possibly could, and absolutely just changed my mom's life because she was able to deal with a lot of the pain. She dealt with a lot of the pain through chiropractic. She didn't take medications. She didn't take anything like that. It was through chiropractic. It was through supplements. It was through being calm and dealing with things the way that nature intended. And what's amazing is that Dr. Jeremy was able to help her when they told her she had, a few months, and she lived for another 1.5 2 years after that diagnosis. So she really did know what she was doing, and Dr. Jeremy really absolutely was incredible and vital in that survival state. I think that he may have even thought he was just going to help her with some pain, and it turns out that she was able to live far beyond the years that anybody had suspected simply because of living healthy, taking the supplements, getting the adjustments that he gave her, and gave her not only a quality of life, but a lot more life to live. And I believe between Dr. Jeremy, God, and my mom, that life was just so much more. And she was able to be with my wife and I when we had our first child and meet her. So it's really incredible knowing a guy, a doctor, a chiropractor, that is compassionate and caring, and when my parents had absolutely no money, was able to do whatever it took to work with my mom and made sure that she had the care that she needed, and that he wanted to provide for her. And you just can't ask any more of a person. And it's not just that he's a great person, it's that he's successful and what he does works. And it's why I keep coming back. He fixes me whenever I need to be fixed. And if I could ever stop messing myself up, I may never have to come back. But until that day happens, I will continue to come here and enjoy the success that Dr. Jeremy has with him and his work, and the knowledge that he carries in being healthy and taking care of your body. And I love how he helps people. It's not just the chiropractic, it's not just the supplements. Half the time I meet with the man, he prescribes a book for me. Go in, read this book, it'll change your life. And you know what? It does. I used to be a huge reader. I'm not so much anymore. I usually chase my kiddos around. But the stuff he prescribes, not just the things to do, but also the mental things, the spiritual things. It's incredible how it really is a whole life approach that he takes. And I've never seen that anywhere else. But it's absolutely been the most successful thing for me, a lot of my friends, and most definitely my family. So if you ever have any need for a chiropractor, if you have any need for anybody beyond just a sore muscle or some kind of weird tweak that you feel like a chiropractor should work on you, it's more than just fixing a skeletal issue. If you have any problems, you should most definitely come by to AK Chiropractic. Take a chance, meet with them. You will not be disappointed. Dr. Jeremy Schiermeyer is incredible.